What's up, guys? If you can, somebody please put in the chat that you can hear me and you can hear me loud and clear. And Frugal Dad Finance is the first guy in the building. It's always a good sign. What's going on, everybody? We have a really cool live tonight. Too easy. What's up, my man? I got a couple things to talk about. We have a couple things going on. Thank you, John. John Diamaco says loud and clear. So does Jared Holbrook. Thank you, guys. Frugal Dad. Okay. Thanks, guys. Should be all good. Just like that. Cesar Joel's in the house. Mi hermano. Cesar, we're going to be speaking some Spanish here in a couple of months. So I'm going to get to that here in a minute. We'll wait just a couple minutes for some more people to get in here. But Bobby Yakuza's in the house. What's up, Bobby? Haven't seen you around in a while, man. We all get busy. Juan Garcia's in the house. What's up, man? Anybody here from Denver? If you're from Denver, pipe up because I want to ask you a question. Or if anybody's been to Denver, I ended up booking the Thompson in Denver for later on next year, and I wanted to ask a couple questions about it. All right, we got 31 people in here. We'll go ahead and get started. Xavier Villa says we need more nerd talk like in the other video. Which one? Me and Sledge or my video? Which because I like some nerd talk. And I do have some nerdy stuff to talk about tonight. So let's go ahead and we got 40 people in the chat. Let's go ahead and get started on something. I'm sorry. Sorry, bumped that. Michael Robbins is out of pop-up jail, baby. Just got approved for the BBP. That is a fantastic card, Michael. Congratulations. Oh, it was actually the video where I said Super Saiyan. Hey, Xavier, here's the thing, man. I think it was that video I got reported as making racist videos. And a guy told me that he's going to clip some footage and he's going to put it on the internet and I'll find out just how racist I am. But it wasn't the Super Saiyan. It was saying I didn't want my wife to sit next to a snake charmer on the plane. And he's extremely upset about that. So I'm sure he's actually extremely upset about his own personal things, but he's taking it out on me. Chase clawing down the ink train. Yeah, I wonder why. John R is in the house. What's up, John? Yes, I am doing well. I'm tired on Thursdays, man. Like Thursdays, I just barely cruise into Fridays. I'm one of those guys that's in bed at 9 o'clock on Fridays because I just barely cruise in. Xavier says can't say anything, and because at first I didn't know what the guy was talking about. He says, "Holy S, you are complete racist" or something like that, and I thought he was talking about Super Saiyan, and I said, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Who won't you let your wife sit to next on the plane or something like that?" And I said, "The dude actually has a snake. The B-roll has a guy with a snake. No one is going to let their wife sit next to a dude with a snake." Okay, if you hear my dogs barking, sorry. My wife likes to do things that make them bark right when I get online. So, Dong, thank you, sir. Don't let the haters are actually, I think, in this, they're bringing me up. So now I have to thank them after every video. Let me text my wife and tell her thanks for. All right, so people need to touch grass. You're right, too easy. Go outside and touch some grass. Thanks to them damn YouTubers. So I don't think if I offended you guys by saying I didn't want my wife to sit next to a dude on a plane that actually has a snake, I apologize to you guys. Most of you guys, I think you're all right with that. Tio Rico is going to go to Puerto Rico. Man, Puerto Rico is going to be so cool. I really can't wait. I'm actually, I think I'm going to take some extra time off for Puerto Rico and really do it well. I'm going to take the whole family down there, and I might take some extra family down there. Yeah, say so. You got a couple of those guys on your channel that don't like. And I told the guy, I said, "Man, you look for racism underneath your bed at night. You're so touchy." Here, this is my guy here, Dino. Luke preaching to the masses. Some good. You testify, Dino. Dino is my Filipino head of security, and if calling him a Filipino head of security bothers any of you guys, I'm sorry, but Dino doesn't care because he's actually Filipino. I don't think you could offend Filipinos. Dino, can you can you weigh in on that? They don't get offended. They're too above getting offended. Get ready for Cesar says get ready for PR, baby. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. Let's get some work done down there too. Let's get some creator work done. Some what do you call them? Uh, Collaborations. What's up, Mr. Matt Clausen? What's happening, man? I've been watching a lot of your videos, especially the rapid fire ones that come out almost every day. Get my news there. I like it. Yeah, John. That's what I told. He said, "Hey, man, you're looking underneath your bed for a racist. Like he's just looking around trying to find." And Frugal Dad says what all of us Gen Xers know. Gen Xers don't get offended. We're the whatever generation. So let's start off with this. Anybody book anything lately? Anything interesting? I did today, and I want to go over it a little bit, but I want to give some of you guys a chance to share maybe some big wins or some really cool redemptions. James, we don't talk about the president on here. Remember last time we talked about the politics, like 60 people unsubscribed. But I think you're right. Maybe we'll get a Gen X president. They may skip us. It may go from a boomer straight to a millennial. Yeah, I don't want to go into that anymore, but we may just go right into them. And that would be the most Gen X thing ever, is to none of them ever be president. Won't be a lot of news in the next couple weeks. Well, that's okay. That's okay. Derek booked a Japan round trip. That's awesome, dude. Boomers don't get offended either. Well, yeah, you're probably a lot less anyway. Yeah, and too easy. JD Vance is a millennial, so if he inherits the throne, we will have been skipped. Which, like I said, is probably the most Gen X thing ever. So, booked Conrad Orlando. Is that the new one? Is that that brand new deal with the man-made lake or whatever? Juan Garcia is killing it. Man, November is a great time to go to Orlando. Good job, man. Vincent Pasquale booked a Marriott in LA for a Points and Miles meetup. Why didn't you invite any of us, man? I'll go to LA for a Points and Miles meetup. Ooh, Frugal Dad's hitting the strip. Which years are Gen X? I want to say, I think they end in 1979. And I know there's a couple different charts, but they're older than that. Gen X goes 1965 to 1980. Yeah, Frugal Dad got it. So that's a pretty wide berth, but I think that's a Gen X definitely has some characteristics that kind of transcend 65 to 80, I think. Crystal booked Singapore Air JFK to Frankfurt, 60K. Listen, Crystal, I rode that. I never stopped talking about it because of the soft product, the service, the way those flight attendants treated us. What did they do? That chef kiss. Those flight attendants, that crew, serious professionals, big time professionals. Yeah, Dong's gonna go to the meetup. Juan's a Gen X. I could tell, man. You're pretty. I'm 77, so we're pretty close. Ruiz says he's the first millennial. All right. I think they have a zillennial. It's like a subcategory that the millennials that are on the border and kind of trend Gen X or kind of take after Gen X. You may be a zillennial, but JFK FRA in Singapore. Yeah, you can do it in Singapore for like 97K, but you can book it through Air Canada's Aeroplan for 60K, which is a sweet spot. It's good. Jared booked first class for his whole family. 75,000 MR to Alaska. Hey, there's no such thing as just domestic. You're going to Dallas. Dallas is cool. Dallas is a super cool city. So good job with that, man. We're going to talk about Alaska tonight. Um, M2K booked Jow to Japan, then to Hawaii on the way. Oh man, there's nothing. Hey, let me take the edge off this long travel day by maybe spending a couple nights in Hawaii. Strong move, M2K. Very strong move. Bobby's a Gen X. You could just tell, but Bobby, we know you're Gen X, man. Gen X is the only guy that's almost 50 and he's still wearing like Chuck Taylors or Adidas Gazelles or something. We Gen Xers do not have to grow up with it when it comes to the clothes we wear. Cesar is a Gen Xer. A lot of you guys. Here's the question, guys. Derek Fahn, is the Aeroplan card worth it? IHG business card. I think they're both worth it, but I think they're also both cards you have to use for them to be worth it. I have the IHG business card, and I have thought a couple times of kind of getting rid of it. But when you have an IHG card, the fourth night is free with points. The fourth night, not the fifth night. So what I'll be making in profit off the 4 rooms I have booked in 2025, where I get the fourth night free, it's unreal the value you get. Aeroplan, yes, I think it's worth it. If I could get it, I would get it right now. I'm even considering having my player 2 get it, which I don't normally do for cards like that. I try to make her setup super simple. Making it. I'll take Zillennial. Yeah, Zillennial. That's a. You think using points on the CSR portal for a round trip is worth it? I avoid transition flights and business class seems difficult with fuel charges. Yeah, it could be. Are we talking about an international flight? Because if I could fly economy in business or if I could fly economy overseas, I would do it. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. But if you're flying economy, I think the CSR portal is fine. If it's domestic economy, absolutely. I would use it for domestic economy until I couldn't. I think it's always going to be worth it if that's how you want to travel. Business class is difficult, and sometimes they do have some high charges. But yeah, that 1.5 I think is always okay. San Antonio, Thanksgiving Day for 4 days. Nice move, man. I've never been to San Antonio, but I really want to go. I think San Antonio would be a really cool place to spend Thanksgiving for sure. You have tacos for Thanksgiving. And not because I'm a racist, it's because San Antonio is actually known for tacos. Whatever that guy's name is, if you're listening. Oh, L-Man's going to London. Yeah, London is a short flight. So if you can do it in economy, I don't have a problem using the CSR portal. I don't think I would do it. But if you don't have a problem flying economy overnight, and I'm assuming it's an overnight flight because sometimes they do have a day flight, I would do a day flight in economy for sure. Yeah, Alex, I think you're right, man. The Aeroplan card is really good. John's a boomer. Nothing wrong with that, man. Yuri doesn't like the IHG cards, and Yuri has a lot of cards and a lot of experience. So millennial that acts like a boomer. Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, fourth night free, 1 free night a year, 10% back. Yeah, the cards are good. And Yuri's a Gen X, international Gen X, citizen of the world. That Yuri is. James got Newark to Bangkok. Nice move, dude. On Singapore. First business class trip for my son and me after 10 miserable coach trips. James, that's big league. I'm assuming Newark to where does Newark fly? Do they fly to Singapore and then to Bangkok? Either way, Singapore Airlines, man, I'm a big fan. Don't identify with the millennial. You know what? There's a lot of younger folks that don't identify with them, but Too Easy says, I know you want the Aeroplan card for the points, but I think it's a good strategy to do. Do I think is the Aeroplan card pay yourself back at 1.5 or 1.25? Either way, no, I don't. And the only reason why is Aeroplan points are the points you use to get that 4, 5, 6 cents per point. So I mean, if you need to pay yourself back, you need to do it. But I would not use that technique with the Aeroplan card. I would much rather. Here's the thing. Why would I use the Aeroplan card to get 3 times on groceries and then pay myself back when I could just use a 5% no annual fee cashback card? Um, so I don't like using the points cards for cashback because a lot of times the cashback cards are cheap and better. Would you make a more recent video talking about? Yeah, I can. I'll, I'll put it on the list. Gordon's the youngster, man. Good. You got a lot of be that young, man. I was already out of the Navy by '01. It's awesome, man. Filmo is too bougie for international economy. I agree, man. It's not worth it. Save up. I think. I think save up, but I can understand if you don't have a problem traveling in economy, then it's awesome. You get great deals. Too easy is going to report me. Yeah, that's okay. Uh, Whoever you report it to is going to be like, man, San Antonio is known for tacos. I love tacos. Who doesn't love tacos? Yeah, M2K says he can take more trips, and if you don't have any problem sleeping in economy, dude, great. I have sleep apnea. I can't even really sleep in business class, but I can. I'm trying to find that one seat that can lay back where I can sleep. I really haven't before, but lying down and drifting off to sleep a couple of times might be better than not sleeping at all. What's the points? What's up, man? He's probably has enough Alaska miles for a couple years. So rather than transferring more MR points, thinking about cashing out a few via your Biz Platinum card. I've done it. I don't have a problem with it. And here's the thing. Not only do I think it's okay, I think if you have a ton of points, I would much rather cash some of those out than have them sitting on the books. Yuri, as far as I know, Mexico is rather easy to get a residency, and that leads towards citizenship. I know I've heard Panama in there before. I actually like Panama. I would consider living in Panama. I think it's a really cool place. Derek Vaughn, are airline statuses worth pursuing? This is what an old guy told me one time, an old wise man. He said, if you can't get airline status, you don't need airline status. And what that means is if you're not flying so often that you organically get status, then you're not flying enough times to benefit from gaming the system and getting airline status. I don't. I booked the class I want. I don't. It's cool to get an upgrade. It makes you feel good, like you got something extra. But I just book what I want. I don't chase status. This is a good question. Dr. Harold Lee. Why do most people talk about airline redemptions and one-way trips? Do they not plan on coming back? Here's I can speak for myself. Almost only book one-way trips. And here's why I do it. I am looking for that best deal possible. And to shrink that into one way is easier to find that best deal and the next best deal. Another reason why I do it is, let's say I fly, like I'm trying to think of a real example. Let's say I find a business class deal from Columbus to Grand Cayman for 15,000 points, 15,000 miles with Alaska. It's on American Airlines, but I'll use Alaska, and it's 15,000 miles for business class, which is better than the American Airlines rate. But on the way back, the American Airlines rate is better. American Airlines miles. Sometimes I use different kinds of miles. If I go to Europe, let's say I fly TAP Air. I use Avianca Life Miles to book TAP Air to Portugal, but I'm going to take a train in Madrid. Now, when I come home on Madrid, I'm not going to come home on TAP Air. I'm going to come home on Iberia. That's another reason. So when you have a bunch of different ecosystems and you really, truly enjoy this game to get really good deals, I think one ways are the easiest way to plan your trip. Domestic economy, that might be different. Top 3 airlines for status. Man, I don't know. I just said that I don't think they're worth having. Yeah, If you ask me which airlines to have status, I would just say United, Delta, and American. Because if I fly internationally, it's already in business class, so I don't need status with them. Yeah, Matt says to pay yourself back's at 1.25, but it can be higher. Um, I don't like 1.25 pay yourself back with an aeroplane card, but I don't hate it. Luke, did you buy any IHG points? I've already bought the limit for 2024, so I will buy more next year when I need them. I buy the limit for Hilton Honors and IHG points every single year, just about. Gordon C just booked Boston NRT. Nice, man. Using American Airlines miles in economy. Listen, you guys that can fly that far in economy, I'm jealous of you. Yeah, Dugraws does do the aeroplane card. And I respect his style and how he does his business, but it's not at all like how I do my business. He tries to make the credit card game pay for all the travel, and I don't think that's possible for me. And I also don't mind using my YouTube money to pay for travel to kind of supplement my points and miles. So and I'm not afraid to drop some cheese on an awesome redemption. So I don't. It makes sense for him for sure. Too Easy said Tex-Mex isn't really Mexican food. I didn't say it was. I didn't. I said it was tacos, but I like them both. I like Mexican and Tex-Mex food. I really like Tex-Mex food. JP Gray says, "Yeah, you're 6'4". That's different, man. I'm not 6'4", but I'm a little wide. But I don't really care that much about the seat. I can sit still for 4 or 5 hours. I don't mind. But JP says no economy for him. Just book the flagship JFK to LAX. Nice. You and your boy. That's awesome, man. Going to a cars thing at Disneyland. We got big league data alert. You got 10 minutes yet. Come back in 10 minutes. Okay. Comb your hair too. Carlos is getting ready for the international Snick Snacks trytreats.com. We have 4 Snick Snacks to kind of review. Yuri, that's a good question. I don't think I've been to Mexico enough times or Panama enough times to choose one or the other. But if I had to pick which one, I would be more. I don't know, man. I don't know if I would pick one over the other. I don't have enough experience in those places, but I did really enjoy my time in Panama. And they use an American dollar, so it made some things easier. Retired, 62, and never flown first class. What am I missing? Here, I can only tell you from my perspective. First class is a little bit easier to not deal with the crowds. You can kind of board without everyone around you, and you can sit down first. The domestic first class, I don't think it's worth it at all. I mean, you get a little bit bigger seat. You might get a fruity drink or extra Snick Snacks or something. I don't think it's worth it, but you do get off the plane quicker. And if those are things that you value, then sometimes flying first can be worth it. If you're someone who wants airline status, then you'll earn status faster by flying first. But international flights and long 7, 8, 9 hour flights, the business class is exponentially better experience than economy. It's also cost a lot more. But if you're using points and miles, I think that cost difference becomes a little less of a big deal. Jeremy, what's the best way to travel to Thailand from the Yeah, see, I never really answer those questions because that's the work. That's the work involved with all this. And if I were to like get up tomorrow and say, hey, I want to find out how to go from Thailand to the US, I'd be able to do it, but it would take me a couple hours. I'd have a headache and I wouldn't enjoy it. So I never really answer those questions unless it's something like I just did. I've never been to Thailand. Somebody in the chat may tell you that Eva Air might be the best way. Maybe get a cheap flight to Japan and take ANA or JAL back. But I don't know. I've never been there. First class is a luxury experience. Business class is to get you to your destination refreshed. Yeah. And here's the difference between business, I think, and business or first and economy. Um, if I booked an economy flight to Germany, Frankfurt, Germany tomorrow, I would probably be up all night just thinking, golly, I got to do that economy flight. It's going to be tough. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be a good part of the trip. If I could just get past that flight, I'll have a good time. But if I book business class on Singapore Airlines from New York to Germany, I'm going to sit up tonight and go, man, I can't wait to get on that plane. I can't wait for those flight attendants to take care of me. I can't wait to, have the gourmet burger from the chef and all that good stuff. It just takes it from a chore to an experience. I think that's just for me. Some people just don't care. Just get me to the place so I can do my thing. What's your take on Alaska devaluing mileage plan next year? How about the board on a? I don't know if they're doing that, and I thought that part of their deal to merge with Hawaiian was to not devalue. So I don't know if unless there's something specific I don't know about. I'm not concerned at all about it because I transferred probably a couple hundred Amex MR points to Hawaiian to Alaskan, and I've redeemed a lot of them already. Would I get Singapore or Lufthansa first class? It depends. Solo trip might be different, but if I'm with my wife, I would do the Singapore suites. I would take that because that would be just a aspirational, experience. But I think they're both pretty good. Hilton's doing a sale. I don't know what that offer is. I kind of glanced at those emails. 2.5 months away from a Hilton stay in Rome. Usually when they have those deals, you might be a little bit too far out. Usually it's like, hey, we have a deal for November, December. So I would just keep your eye on those emails. Hilton does a really good job to promote those. Guys, mostly free travel is in the house. Check out her Instagram. She walks the walk as well as talks the talk. Tons of great information on there. If you have an Instagram, check her out. Let me go back there. It's so you know which one it is. Mostly free travel. Xavier, what's the limit on IHG and Hilton points? There's a limit. I want to say it. I could be wrong, but I want to say it was like $2,400 or $2,500. So that's when you'd be buying double points for that. I think it's $2,400 for Hilton. $2,400, and you'd be getting 480,000 Hilton Honors points. And IHG is really similar, really close to that. And in my opinion, it's the maths. It works. Yeah, and like M2K said, they will raise that limit on promotion time, so you can take advantage of that. What ice cream flavor are you? We'll ask him when he gets back. He's gonna bring in the snacks. When's the next Points and Miles meetup? Puerto Rico, January 2026. Stay tuned for exact dates. And Cesar Joel is actually kind of organizing that and heading it up. And he has a lot of plans, a lot of really cool stuff. So keep your ears open for that. What's up, Derek? Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Derek says you can redeem Alaska miles for Barnes and Noble's 3 points percent. I don't know if I like that, but 3 points percent. Does that mean you're giving 3 Alaska miles for 1 penny at Barnes and Noble? I don't like that. Come on in here, Carlos. Did you comb your hair? Okay, come on. Carlos takes a shower at 7, so I told him he had to put some clothes on.
If I take a shower at 7, why do you have your lives at 7?
Why not? We have West Coast guys here, Charlie. They have to. That's only 4 o'clock there. So get the box. We have 4 Snick Snacks. We'll take a break from these questions because Red Sox just hit us with the political questions. So we'll take a break from that. Guys, this is trytreats.com. This video is not sponsored, but I did get sent this product, and I think it is a really cool thing for us, our crowd. It's a subscription box where they send you a box of international snacks once a month. This box is the same one we kind of reviewed 2 weeks ago. It's from South Korea. So we're going to get these out. Just hold it down. I'll hold it down. We're going to get these out, and we're going to show you what they are, and we're going to try them. Subsequently, there is a Try Treats link in the description, and if you do click on our link, Carlos will earn college money that'll be put in his $529. So Carlos is 8, and he's already working. First off, we have Concho. Hold on, let's do it one at a time. Concho Choco Biscuit. And usually when we're on here, somebody knows these things. And it looks like that. Oh, it's not open. Okay.
Anybody do the Concho?
Let me see. This is yogurt jelly. Charlie's going to try that. It looks like it's gummy worms or something. We'll see. Yeah. We'll check it out. Third, best choice custard cake. I think that's going to be good. And finally, what looks like the least Korean ever is the butter coconut sweet biscuit. So I'm excited about that. And again,
you gotta eat the Korean sticker now.
Again, these are from South Korea. So
gotta eat that now.
Carlos, we'll take one out and we'll try it. We're going to try the custard, and then we'll set it aside, and then you can take it with you. You want to bite it? Yeah. Me go first. So that's what it's like, a custard cake.
I want to try it. Do I have to try it?
Mm-hmm.
What's the middle taste like?
I don't know.
What is the middle?
It tastes like a sweet cake. Here.
Okay. Ooh, that smells good.
Good. Set it down. Sweet. It's really sweet. It's pretty good. I like it. I don't know if I would. Yeah, I mean, I might finish that. Next up, the Concho Choco Biscuit. So let's try this. What do you give that? How many Bengals football helmets? 1 through 5. You have to rate it. 3? 3.5?
No, not 3.
Oh, these are kind of cool.
Not 3.5.
These are they have little faces on them.
We'll try one.
And there's chocolate inside.
I'm going to see what this one is.
Taste it. Taste it. Chocolate inside. Those are really good. I give those 5.
Oh, 4.
4. They could be bigger. These are the yogurt jellies. I'm gonna try to open it for them. So,
Okay.
Yeah, we got it. I just don't want them all over the room here.
That'd be funny. They look like. Ooh.
So these look like gummies.
They look like the Coca-Cola gummies.
Yeah, they do have a
bottle shape to them.
Yeah. That's good. They do taste like yogurt as well. 5 out of 5. So Charles gives yogurt jelly 5 out of 5. We have one left. Butter coconut sweet biscuit. Oh boy, I dropped some. Here.
Actually, I want to give the last one a 4.86.
4.86.
No, 4.6.
We don't. We give just 4.5 or 5.
Why can't I give a
Okay, 4.6. So this last one looks like you're like your Biscoff.
I want to break it in half.
It looks like what it tastes like what it looks like. Not super sweet. I give it a 1 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a 0, but you're not gonna buy those. You'll eat them if Grandma gives you a couple, but you're probably not gonna buy them. All right, now which ones do you want to take with you?
None.
None? Okay. Well, they have a question for you. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Wait, hold up. Nolan Brown. I think you Bengals.
Yeah. It's okay. He's allowed to not like the Bengals. Joshua says if you go to a Chinese bakery or You could pick up some Lai Wong baos, custard
What is
buns,
it? Oh.
kind of like those. Right out of the oven. Nice. So what flavor ice cream is your favorite?
I mean, it's like it's kind of a cross between chocolate and something else. There's another one. I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it's called.
Okay. Tell these guys how they can get their own box of trytreats.com. See, link in the description. Use our code.
There's a link in the description to get what we just ate and go check it out.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
All right, guys.
Oh my God.
You okay?
I'm good.
All right. All right. So we've got an 8-year-old that's already working. I'm pretty happy about that. Thank you, sir. Yeah. What's it? Let me see here. He's excited about that. Yeah, you can. I don't think I have the code in the description. So I'll put it in there. Give me just 1 second. I'll put that joker in there. Sorry, guys. Give me just one quick second. So it sounds like a lot of you guys have a lot of redemptions set up, and I want to talk about one that I booked today. And if you follow my channel, you'll know that this is kind of an ongoing struggle and story. So Frugal Dad says Bengals are a fun team to watch if you're not a fan. Yeah, this has been a difficult year. Oh yeah, Andrew, I'll ask him for next time. What will be his first solo trip? That's an interesting question. So I'll definitely ask him next time, or he may be on the chat here soon. He might. Sometimes he runs downstairs and logs on the chat. So here's the deal. You guys booked a lot of cool stuff, and today I booked some cool stuff. Now, if you follow the channel, before today, I currently had a January trip. Yeah, Professor X, you're right, man. I had a January trip to Marrakesh, Morocco. And let me see here. To Marrakesh, Morocco. And that Marrakesh, Morocco trip started life as a trip to Lima, Peru. Then it was changed to a trip to Japan. Then it was changed to a trip to Madrid and then Marrakesh. They were all canceled for different reasons. None of them were a really good reason. Let me get over here. I'm messing up my. Oh boy, we got a super chat. Let me. I'm having. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting. I haven't quite gotten all the great buttons down. G. Let me show G on here. G says he worked for one of the major 3 airlines. He gets a small discount on Hilton cash days and 50 to 60% off Marriott if available. Aspire or Brilliant? Ooh, that's a great question, man. That's a super good question. Thank you for the 5 spot. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. Absolutely. A lot of these questions for me, if it's Aspire or Brilliant, I have to say get both. Get both, and whichever one turns out to be the better product, downgrade the other one. I think you can get, maybe not with the Brilliant, you can't really downgrade it to a no annual fee card, but at least with the Aspire you can. I prefer the Hilton Aspire over the Brilliant, and that's because I have never been able to squeeze out a ton of value from Marriott. So, but you're getting 50 and 60% off Marriott, you're going to get a ton of value from that. I would do both, man. I would. Okay, so let me hit Michael up here. Booked hometown, Chi-Town to Honolulu for 45K life miles round trip. Nice move, Michael. That is a big league redemption. Good job. So back to Marrakesh. So this trip has morphed, and I decided to not go to Marrakesh, and I'll explain why. I do want to go to Africa, and I do want to go to Morocco, but ever since we have here. Sorry for I'm interrupting myself over and over. Carlos says his first solo trip will probably be Florida. I believe him. He can probably just drive there by himself right now. So I whenever I thought about going to Morocco, I never got excited about that trip. I actually dreaded the trip. The redemption was awesome. I had a Hyatt, a Mr. and Mrs. Smith booking with a Riyadh that was beautiful. My flight was so convenient that it was an entire trip booked on one itinerary with Air France from Columbus to New York to Paris to Morocco, but it also had that many flights. So it was going to be a really long flight. It was going to be to a place I knew would be really hustle and bustle and fast pace. And I don't know if that was the best place for me to go as a solo traveler. So I canceled it, man. I canceled it and I rebooked Peru. And I want to talk about how I rebooked Peru because I think it's a really cool deal and it's relevant right now. So the first thing I did, now also when I talk about canceling these flights, do they cost me? Yeah, Professor X has a great question. Yeah, they're not cheap to cancel most of the time. So with Air France, I had 72,000 Air France flying Blue miles one way, and then I think 77,000 the other way. I got all those points refunded instantly. I got my taxes and fees refunded instantly, but they also charge an €80 cancellation fee on both of those bookings, both of those return and so 80 each, €80 each. So I haven't seen exactly what I'll be charged, but it is for me €80. Charging me €80 is fine, and I'll tell you why. 77,000 and 72,000 was 149,000 flying Blue miles. That's not super cheap for a solo trip. So I changed that to a flight from Columbus to Lima, Peru, with a layover in Miami on American Airlines. And I booked it with Alaska miles. Now, I booked this one round trip, which is, like I said, it's rare for me, but I booked it round trip. And it cost me 70,000 Alaska miles and $99. So I went from 149,000 flying Blue miles and around $500 in taxes and fees to 70,000 miles and $99. The Riyadh I had booked in Marrakesh was through Hyatt, and it was 110,000 Hyatt points. Pretty expensive, but it was a great, really nice property. I booked in Lima a Radisson hotel from Choice Rewards, and I booked a King Suite for 96,000 Chase points for 6 nights. So the trip to Lima is much less expensive, points and cash wise. In Lima, it's summertime in January. They do have a beach. I don't know how much time I'll spend on the beach just being by myself, but the weather's going to be better. It's about 60 degrees in Marrakesh, almost 80 in Lima, and I live in Ohio. Did I? What? Yeah, you're right. I meant choice points. What did I say? Chase points? Choice points. Choice privileges rewards points. Sometimes my mouth gets ahead of me. But it's a much cheaper redemption. It's still a new country for me and a new continent. So I want to check out Lima, Peru. I want to eat that food. I want to drink a couple beers. I want to have some sunshine. And the Radisson in South America has a rooftop. Yes, Derek, it is chilly in Ohio. It's snowing. Should you take a job at Dublin at the Mercedes store? Yeah, man, I think it would be cool. I think that would be a cool job. I might come in there and buy one from you. So yeah, definitely take it. Dublin's a great city. But I'm going to do Lima and not Marrakesh. And ever since I just made that decision to eat the €80 times 2, I've been excited about this trip again. So the only caveat is it is business class flights, but it's not like what you would think of as an international business class seat. It's not a lie flat. I think it's an A321 Neo. So it's first class seat. It's a big seat, but it's also, there's 2 things that makes it so much easier. It's also not an overnight flight. So it's a daytime flight. I will be traveling almost all day, but that's just That's just how it works. But there's no time difference in Lima, Peru from Columbus, Ohio. It's the same time. So I don't get that jet lag, which is awesome for a shorter trip. So I'm really excited about just getting some sunshine. David Ruiz says Peru's awesome. Miraflores is where the Radisson is. So great food, great views, walk around the Melicon. Yeah. So I'm really happy about it. And I think I picked the perfect time of year. It's still kind of a weird place to go. Like I wanted to pick a random place. What am I going to do there? Man, I don't know yet. I'll be digging into that soon. So I'm really excited about it. So if any of you guys are going to be in Peru in January, hit me up on the Instagram. We'll go get a beer or something. But really excited about that. So that was my redemption story for today. And here's the Flying Blue miles. Now I have 150,000 Flying Blue miles orphaned in an account. I don't mind that because we'll use that to go to Europe. But at the same time, I found a way to spend 96,000 choice points that I had just sitting there. So I'm really happy about that. I can save my Haya points for a suite with my family. So I think everything worked out really good. I just put that there. So tell me what you guys think of that. I know a lot of people, I did see a lot of comments even before today that said, hey, Peru is way better than Marrakesh. And honestly, doing the research and watching the videos on Marrakesh, Morocco, everybody said the same thing. Everybody's out to scam you, and I'm not coming back. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll come back or not, or go there ever again. Or ever at all. But I really fell in love with South America when I went to Panama, and I know Panama is technically in Central America, but same thing for me. Michael says nice. JP Gray says a +1 from Miraflores. I can't wait to hang out there. I've heard great stuff about it. So I can't wait, man. Okay, so next I want to go over. Everybody is talking about the U.S. bar, and we've all gone over the news that it has gone away, at least temporarily. So what I want to talk about is the status of my U.S. bar story. And I don't think this is going to be a very interesting story when it's completed, but I did want to get it out there just because I think it's interesting that everybody's talking about this card. So I want to talk about it. I think it's way overrated. I really do. I think but like Yuri says, it's the best card ever. Since I do say it's overrated, and since I do say things on the opposite end of the spectrum about how great it is, I wanted to get it. What's up, JJ? Because if I'm going to say negative things about it, I need to experience it and make sure. So I applied for the U.S. bar the morning before it disappeared. And I think sitting up here on my computer, the message I got was, we were not able to approve you for the card now. We may contact you in the future, or something like that, where I wasn't approved, but it didn't say I was denied. So what I did was I called the reconsideration line, and I got transferred 3 times. So, but the lady at the underwriting, she only told me, no, they can't approve you right now. You have to wait until you get a letter. Okay. So I waited a couple of days and I got the letter. When I opened up the letter, it said exactly what I thought it would. It said, we couldn't approve you because you have too many recent inquiries. Now, your question is going to be, how many inquiries do you have, Luke? I have over 20. It's whatever, depending on what credit bureau it is, it's between 20 and 24. So yeah, that's a lot of inquiries. So I told the lady, I said, hey, I called when I got the letter and they got the same underwriting. And she said, I think she told me I would have to wait to get the letter. And I said, well, ma'am, I said, I've received the letter and they gave me the reason, and I wanted a chance to kind of plead my case and explain why, that's the situation I'm in, and maybe it makes sense to push this to a manual review and see if we can find a way to get me approved. And she goes, okay, she did all that. She goes, well, tell me why, what the reason is. And I said, well, ma'am, I said, I have a lot of inquiries and I was not approved because of so many recent inquiries. And I said, I'm applying for credit for 3 different small businesses right now. So I'm getting inquiries on my personal credit, but you're not seeing a ton of new accounts because they're not reporting. So it might look like I'm applying for credit and not getting it. I said, but I'm preparing myself for retirement in a few years, and I want to set up these small businesses, and I want them to have credit profiles built up. And that's why I have so many inquiries. And she reacted positively. So she said, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And she says, I'll note this and I'll put it on there and I'll send it straight over for a manual review. She goes, and I think she said, if you're approved, you'll get the card in the mail. And if you're not, you'll get another letter. So long story short, to wrap it up, I'm still waiting for that response. But what do you guys think? Do you think they can approve me with 20 inquiries? I didn't think so, but I'm also not afraid to shoot my shot, because if this card is as great as everyone says it is, and I'm disagreeing, then I have to get my hands on it, or I'm going to shut up about it. So, because most of the people in this game are smarter than me. So if I have a different opinion, I need to base that off something. And if I can't get a hold of the card, I'm just going to start taking their word for it that it's a great card. And a lot of you guys saying there it is a great card, and I know it is. However, I've said what I've said about it before. So I'm trying to get it. We'll see. I'll definitely update everybody when everybody loves it, man. Any promotion on the Chase Sapphire? No, I don't think so. I think it's still there is a promotion on the Chase Sapphire Reserve. It's just 5,000 more points. But they don't have great promotions for those very often, it seems. Going to London next summer, debating Virgin Atlantic business versus premium economy. 60,000 versus 17,000 miles. I've heard that premium economy on Virgin Atlantic is a lot like first class domestic. So I don't think it's a bad. I would have to see what the taxes and fees are on each of those. That would really influence my decision on which to take, because that's a short flight. London and New York City is a short. Is it 5.5 hours? Maybe it's pretty short. Yuri selling the U.S. bar, man. Yeah, Son says he had 11 inquiries. Such an overrated card for one reason. It's not good for internet. It's not. And listen, you are not flying to Frankfurt, Germany on Singapore Airlines with a U.S. bar. It's not happening. And there he said, it only triggers real-time rewards for U.S.-based companies. Yeah. Ian Mascow's in the house. What's up, Ian? Joshua said he said the same thing when he had 0 inquiries. Yeah, City's a special boy. Yeah, Juan says it is conservative. And I've had some dealings with him in the past. I do have a relationship with him. I have 2 business checking accounts with him. I have a personal checking account. I have the U.S. Bank Cash Plus. I have the Triple Cash on the business side, and I have worked with someone from the physical bank. I had an issue when I got the Triple Cash. They gave me like a $750 credit limit, and I called this guy at the branch, and I said, "Hey, can I get this raised as long as I don't get another hard pull?" And 2 things happened. I got a hard pull, and then they raised it to 28,000. So they raised it from $750 to 28,000. So I get they're a conservative bank, but just kind of weird. Yeah, he says Ocelot Green confirmed Virgin premium economy is like domestic first class, better food and better vibes. It might be all you need, man, especially for that price. Ami. We have a few Delta miles. I want to go to Amsterdam next month. It's 44,000 miles for nothing fancy. Can't transfer Delta anywhere for a better deal. No, you can't transfer Delta to anywhere. At least to fly. No. Your best bet from where you're flying from, because your best bet from North America is KLM, flying Blue Miles. But if you don't have any, and that would be from any transferable currency. Jeez, Yuri says he's never been declined from Citi. He's got 16 accounts. That's awesome, man. Professor X, I don't love that you have to pay taxes and fees, including destination and resort fees, when paying for Hyatt and Hilton stays with the U.S. bar. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, man. I don't think I've ever paid taxes and fees at Hilton because I use points every time almost. Especially the destination and resort fees I've never paid. Ian says, anyone else doing buying groups this week with Black Friday sales? I don't do them. I know a lot of people do. Yeah, Ami, from JFK to Amsterdam, you need some flying blue miles, which you can get from any transferable currency. Or you're stuck on Delta, which Delta could be worse, man. But Ian, I don't do the buying groups. I've thought about it, and I still might do them one day, but I've never done it. All right, guys, you should probably know that we have a very important foosball game tonight. Chad's Money Minutes is in the house. Guys, if you're not watching Chad's Money Minutes, you need to. Super well-rounded, knowledgeable dude in the game. And he also has really cool opinions. Whether you agree with him or not, those opinions trigger something in your brain to start, that thinking process and to think outside the box. So check out Chad's Money Minutes. But there's a football game on tonight at 8:30. I hate the Steelers. Sorry if you're a Steelers fan. But I've got to root for the Browns because I'm a Bengals fan. And we're going to wrap this up here in about 5 minutes. So if you have any questions, yeah, like Filmo says, if you're not watching Chad, what are you doing with your life? Micah Green, is it worth it buy Hilton points? It's 100% worth it to buy Hilton points when they are on sale for 100% bonus, which makes them half a penny each. I buy them all day. I buy them the maximum limit when they're like that. Yeah, we'll just get about 5 minutes, and I appreciate every one of you guys that showed up. This was a really cool live, and I really appreciate you guys sharing with me your latest redemptions. And some of them were really awesome. I'm jealous of some of you guys, but whoops, how do I get that off there? Told you guys I'm not super good at all this. How do I do the There we go. All right. Ricky's travel hacking's late again. Hey, better late than never, man. We appreciate you. Ricky's flying Emirates first class home from Spain in 2 weeks. Man, I like your style, man. I've never flown Emirates first class. I can't wait to hear about it. That would be fun. That would be super fun. Son Gwen says 29K versus points from LAX to Honolulu. The Hoku Suites first class is a steal. That's really awesome, man. That's 29,000 points from LA to Honolulu and first class suite. Good for you, man. That's awesome. I'm jealous. Super jealous. I don't think there's a better way to go to Hawaii than than how you're doing it. Mr. Fun used Alaska Miles. Everybody's using them right now, man. Okay, Bradley. What's a good companion card to go with the Amex Platinum, Amex Amazon Business? I mean, the best card to go with the Amex Platinum is the Amex Gold. But before I got into any of that, I would get a Blue Business Plus. Because it's 2 times on everything up to 50 grand. But the real reason is that Blue Business Plus will anchor your points. You get really mad at Amex and you want to cancel that Platinum card. If you have the Blue Business Plus, all your points will stay safe for free. So if you're going to go the Amex route, at some point, get that Blue Business Plus. Fun said he's staying in Lima for a few days and going to Machu Picchu. Yeah, I don't have enough time to go to Machu Picchu, and I think I'm going to regret that. But I'm jealous of you, man. I only have a few days. JFK to Buenos Aires would be really cool. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a big league redemption. All right, guys. We're going to wrap this one up. We're going to do just an hour this time. I think that's good for a short one. Remember, if you want to support Carlos's college education, check out my link in the description below for tritreats.com. I actually like that service. That's really cool. So guys, I'm going to be doing a little bit less lives in the future. So we're probably going to do, we might do 2 of them in December, and I'll do one when I'm in Lima. So I will definitely put the word out on the community page. And if you haven't watched my 20 questions with Sledge, I did a live with him last Monday, the 20 questions, and I thought it turned out really well. So if you want to take a look at that, go to Sledge Inc. Team's YouTube channel and check that out. So I got to go. We're going to root for the Browns tonight because they're all Ohio. Thank you guys for showing up, and I appreciate the super chats, and I appreciate the questions, and I appreciate you being part of this community. Until next time.